One day I had to get some cash, and so I drove to the nearest ATM, automated teller machine, to get the cash. And I had my youngest son with me. And I'll never forget his response when he watched me put the card into the machine, punch in some numbers, and get money out of it. And as I did that, and we were pulling away, I looked at him, and he looked at me with the biggest smile on his face and look of surprise as he said, "Dad, you mean to tell me you put that card in there and it gives you money?" He could not believe it. Only through the eyes of a small child. As I think about that, wouldn't it be great if it was like he thought it might be, that you actually put a card in there and punch in a couple of numbers and it would give you money without having to put money in the bank? Of course, we know that's not true. But I think you can take that illustration a little further. And wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we could go to an automated time machine where you put in a card? Oops. My favorite thing is when you leave your card in there and then it eats it up, which fortunately it does. Otherwise, you'd lose all your money. But as I think about that ATM, what if it stood for automated time machine? And you could put a card in and punch in a number and you'd get more time in your life. You know, time is the most precious commodity that we have on this earth. And unlike even an automatic teller machine, you can't put more time in a bank somewhere. Every person has a limited number of hours every single day, 24, no more and no less. For as long as we can remember, we think about time from an early age, when we're just always, when is Christmas going to come? When is the next school break going to come? When is the next recess going to come? And all throughout our lives, we think about time. And then when we get older, it's always, we don't have enough time. We're running out of time. I did a video just a couple of months ago called Marbles, where I talked specifically about how precious time is. And as I think about time, I'm drawn to what Jesus said in regards to being anxious. I get so anxious about not having enough time to get things done. And as you get older, you start realizing you don't have that much time left in life. And so when I think about that, I think of the words of Jesus when he says this in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 27, and he's talking about anxiousness. And he says this, "And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his span of life?" And the truth is, we can't add any more time to our lives. And worrying and being anxious about things does nothing to increase the time that we have. Jesus goes on and concludes at the end of this section about time, "Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble." Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up and we'll have 24 hours. And at the end of those 24 hours, as I said before, they're gone and we can't get them back. Oh, that we would be cautious with our time and use it wisely.